We're recording. Everything's good. We have enough space.
Yeah, girl, you're a producer now. What happened?
Became the foreman, became the producer. I just like being in charge.
That's why I married you.
Hello, and welcome to the Hardly Working Podcast, the show about life, love, and labor, hosted by the couple that works, plays, and stays together. I'm Kellie.
And I'm SP, and we've got another episode coming at you in your ear holes and eyeballs for 60 plus minutes of goodness. I was like, auditory? Viditory? I don't know.
Whatever, however you've used.
If you
listens,
watch,
reads.
or reads it. It's
for
time.
you.
It's that time again. Kellie, how are you doing? How was your week?
It was good. I'm tired.
I can tell. You had a late night on Saturday.
I did, and I'm old, and so it takes me longer to recover and recuperate, I realize.
Yeah.
But it was fun. It was a fun gig, a fun event with bubbles and slow motion video and just fun all around.
Yeah.
You can check it out on BMBL booth on Instagram. Try to plug in my own business there if you'd like to.
You plug your own
How
business.
dare I? But it was fun. It was really fun. Did it with Troy. Troy, our fave. I got to see Kate and Peter. Hung out with Ashley May, who was there with me. It was great, but I was really tired. It was a 5-hour party. I was just tired.
But you did it. You accomplished
It was great. And you went to Malibu and went to a swanky party without me.
Well, I would have loved to have had you there.
Yeah, I would have gone too.
Yeah, so that was exciting news. I got a text about a TV show that I've hosted for a while, a couple seasons of, and they told me they got a distribution deal.
Woo woo.
I'll be honest,
Don't know what that means.
not totally sure what that means.
But
woohoo, and it's good. And they were doing a party, cocktail party, networking party, whatever it is, out in Malibu. Went to that. It was fun. Met some awesome new people. Always good to, open up that network and keep going. But it was good. Yeah, we've had a busy week with redoing the condo, which we're in the home stretch of. But then both of us had busy Saturdays. You with a gig, me with this party, which was work in a different way.
Yeah.
It wasn't like a real party.
Yeah, I understand. But it's still.
And your grandma's been in town. I don't know if we mentioned that.
My grandma's been in town for my second cousin's graduation.
Is that what it is? Second cousins? Is that how you do it?
I mean, that's what
your
he
cousin's kid.
Yeah, my second cousin.
I never got the lingo straight on second
feel like
cousins,
that's right.
twice removed people. I don't know.
But anyways, he graduated high school. And that was the thing that my grandparents did. They came to every graduation, except for some of ours when my grandpa got... when my grandpa, my grandpa got sick, they obviously didn't travel. So I don't think they made it out for my graduation from high school or...
Did they make it to your college graduation?
I didn't graduate from college, but they did make it to my 5th grade graduation. They brought a cowbell that they very loudly rang.
5th grade graduation?
Like my culmination for 5th grade. And I'm pretty sure they came out for my 8th grade culmination as well.
Really?
Like every graduation, every culmination
nuts.
graduation, they were there. They weren't there for my high school because I think my grandpa was pretty sick at the time.
Yeah.
But everyone, my brother, everybody. And they always
That's
had a cowbell
nuts.
and they always rang it really, really loud. That was like the thing.
I think that's so cool that they like that. I think it's so weird though. Especially those like early on graduations.
Yeah, I think it was more about showing up in the ways that they could since they lived in a different state. I think it was, but we can show up for the big events and be there for the big things.
We got a bridge crossing coming up soon. Speaking of useless moments in time, Brooklyn is almost done with school.
It's a cute thing that they do though. They're called bridges and they do a bridge crossing. I think that's smart. Smart marketing.
Yeah, but it would be better if we weren't already there for 50 other things this week.
I know, truly.
So many things. Anyway, so good week, busy week, coming down the home stretch with the condo. Kellie's just trying not to die over there.
Sorry.
It's one of those coffee kind of mornings for you.
Yeah.
But home stretch in the condo, hoping to get in there in the next week or so. My goal is Father's Day. My goal is Father's Day. Brooklyn is rip roaring and ready to get back in there.
Yeah,
She's been a good trooper, but
anything that you've put in there. She doesn't know she doesn't have a loft bed anymore. She doesn't know anything.
She knows nothing. I cannot stress enough how little this child knows about anything regarding her bedroom. Yeah, we're really excited. Can't wait to get back in there. But that's kind of all the stuff. Summer's slowing down with work, which is really convenient for us. I guess right now.
Is it? Can we talk about what you're doing?
I think so.
Yeah, you're going to be at Comic-Con. You're going to be at D23.
Yeah.
We're going to Minnesota, I think, at some point in time.
Yeah.
I have another event coming up, I think, in a couple. Well, I guess that isn't that far. It's just they're bigger events, and so there's more prep that goes into it. So it feels like we're busy.
Well, stick around after that tease of what in the world we're doing for the next few months. It's still NDA. More chill.
So I can't talk about, I signed an NDA.
For Minnesota?
No, not from Minnesota. I haven't been officially hired on that one, but that one is apparently a sure thing.
That one's going to be cool. I'll be at that one. I think I'll be at that one. Audio
I said
gold.
The name in that. No, I'm just kidding. I'm working with, but no.
Yeah. But anyway, we're slowing down a little bit, which is really nice because we got plenty of stuff to do. Lots and lots to do. And it's summertime, baby. It's almost summer. We're a week away from summer, which actually transitions me into the first thing I wanted to talk to you about today.
Okay.
It's summertime.
Summertime.
When you think summer, what do you think of?
Popsicles, swimming, beach.
Yeah.
Did I nail it? Margaritas.
Yeah.
By the poolside.
Yeah.
Vacation.
Yeah.
Hawaii.
Yeah.
Are you going to Hawaii? Are you taking me to Hawaii?
No. Not right now.
Okay.
Dude, that was good.
Thanks.
That could have been the whole game, was just like, I'll say a word and you give me everything. But I think of all those things. I think of the pool. I think of barbecuing. I think of hanging out with family, going to the beach, all that kind of stuff. And I started thinking about, when I started thinking about barbecue, started thinking about foods. We're cooking up burgers on the grill. We're cooking up hot dogs on the grill. All that great American food. 4th of July is in a month. Got all those great American foods.
At one event.
And I thought, which of these foods are truly American and which do we just think are American? So I put together a new game called Born in the USA.
Or Canada, who knows?
Who could be? So I've listed a bunch of foods that most people would assume are American foods or made in the USA, created rather in the USA. It is up to you to determine, just based off of me telling you the food, whether it was created in America or created somewhere else.
Okay.
It's that simple.
Okay.
This is Born in the USA. Here we go. First one.
Sorry, okay.
Hamburgers.
No, made in Hamburg.
That's right. I knew you'd get this one. Hamburgers not created in the U.S. Hamburgers originated in Hamburg, Germany, or Hamburg. I don't know. I'm not German. You're German. What is it? Hamburg? They were minced meat patties, first popularized in the 19th century. They were brought to the U.S. by German immigrants and evolved into the modern hamburger. You ready for the next one?
Yes.
Apple pie.
Apple pie. That to me feels like something that would be American.
It's as American as apple pie.
Yeah, but it's not, is it?
Good thing, because it's not created in the United States.
Where is it created?
The concept of apple pie originated in England. I almost went Manchester, let me guess. England, but it doesn't say Manchester.
You should let me guess.
Okay, I'll let you guess.
Like, you could say, no, it wasn't. Where do you think it's from?
Perfect.
I'm telling
Would
you how to
have
do this
guessed England?
Game now.
No.
I might have.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, well, either way, it was created in England in the 14th century, though it became an iconic American dessert often associated with American culture. Next, buffalo wings.
Like wings with buffalo sauce?
Yeah, buffalo wings. Like you're going out to get some wings. You're going to B-dubs.
Here's the deal. In my mind, the only thing that could have possibly ever been made in America were hot dogs, because of all the crap that goes into them. Yeah. Although hot dogs are just a ripoff of like sausages and stuff like that. So like, who knows?
Look,
so all this other stuff.
Don't start going into other food products that may or may not be in this game.
No.
Buffalo wings, you're saying not created in the U.S.
Is it specifically buffalo wings?
Specifically buffalo wings.
Yes. Yes.
Final answer? Locking it in?
Locking it in.
Buffalo wings, created in the United States. Buffalo wings were invented at the Anchor Bar in Buffalo, New York.
Oh, okay.
Yes, in 1964. Can you believe that? 1964?
Wasn't that long ago.
No, by Teresa Bellissimo.
It explains why they're buffalo wings. I always just assumed buffalo was a sauce, but it
From Buffalo.
From buffalo.
Anyway, created the dish as a late night snack. You mentioned hot dogs earlier, and that happens to be the next food item. What do you think? Hot dogs created in the U.S. or created somewhere else?
Somewhere else.
Not created in the U.S.
Yeah.
Where do you think it was created?
Why can I like see in my head where I think this is from, but can't figure it out? Like, where do they wear like the milkmaid stuff? Where is that? What country is that?
Isn't that Germany?
Or
or
I guess
Austria?
it could be. I guess it could be Germany or Austria. Yeah, Germany would make sense. Like bratwursts.
Yeah.
That would make sense. It's Germany.
It is Germany.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get 2 points for that.
Yeah, it's right. The points don't matter, but yeah.
It's like whose line? The earliest, hot dogs have origins in Germany, where sausages have been a staple since the 1600s.
Yeah.
Popularized in the U.S. in the 19th century by German immigrants.
Yeah, I mean, it's now made more American than it is made German. But
were you referring to lederhosen momentarily?
Maybe.
Did you call them overalls?
I said milkmaid.
Milkmaid? How did I know what you were talking about still?
Know. Yeah.
Me either.
You could see it in your head.
I could. Yeah. But yeah, bratwursts.
Yeah.
The Germans.
Is it German? The Leberwurst.
What about this one? We're going from 2 questions ago, where Sean used to work at Buffalo Wild Wings, to, I guess he's never worked at the Cheesecake Factory, but he worked next to Cheesecake Factory and he likes cheesecake. What do you think? Cheesecake.
Shout out to Sean.
Yeah, shout out to Sean. American food or not American food?
No.
It is not created in the U.S. Where do you think it's from? This is a wild one.
I was going to say France.
No, it says that it was created as early as 776 BC.
What? So are we going like Mexico, like South America?
No. When you think BC, do you think, like the Aztecs and the Mayans and stuff? Just whipping up cheesecakes in their pyramids?
I went to cheese. I went to France.
Sure. Okay. I can see that. Yeah.
Well, maybe Rome, maybe Italy.
Yeah. Final answer?
Yeah.
The answer is the earliest known recipes for cheesecakes
Nailed it.
Nailed it. The earliest known recipe for cheesecake date back to ancient Greece.
Okay. So it's close.
Kind of. No, I mean, kind
They're
of.
right next to...
With the dish being served to athletes during the first Olympic Games in 776 BC.
Good for you.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Yeah. Nothing gets you ready to compete like a belly full of cheesecake.
The right region.
Kind of, yeah. I mean, you started in South America. You definitely ended closer than you started.
I said France first.
That is true. You did. Okay.
And then I thought maybe it's a crazy place I didn't think of. Most of the stuff I assume is from like Europe.
Yeah, you get partial points then. Partial points. Couple more. Fried chicken. American or not American?
That's American.
Fried chicken, not created in the United States. Where do you think it was from? There's 2 possible answers here.
Fried chicken. Fried chicken. It's either going to be like England. Fried chicken. Fried chicken.
When you think fried chicken, you think England?
Well, I think... Like, you know, the big turkey legs?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I feel like that's like medieval times. Not like the place you go and see stuff, even though it is there too. But I think but is that considered fried chicken? I mean, that'd be fried turkey leg, but is that?
I don't know if that's fried. I think we're talking like battered and deep fried.
Oh, okay. Battered and deep fried.
Chicken.
Not in the US of A. So where?
Is that you saying so where with an accent?
Yeah.
Okay, well, as I explain it, do this for me because I love you. Or don't. Fried chicken not created in the U.S. Fried chicken has roots in Scottish and West African cultures or cuisines.
I guess I could have said Africa. That would have made sense.
Yep. Scottish immigrants and African slaves brought their frying techniques to the southern United States. Yeah. Yes, you did, I think. All right, let's do a lightning round with a few because I have a bunch and I want to do them all, but we'll go fast. Next one, Caesar salad.
No.
Not
Rome.
created in the
Italy.
US. Oddly enough, Caesar salad was created by Italian-American restaurateur Caesar Cardini in Tijuana, Mexico in the 1920s.
No.
I've heard that whole story. It was like he just threw it together or something like that. Well, he's an Italian-American
so Italy.
immigrant.
I nailed it.
But he created it in Mexico.
He's Italian.
There you go. Next, chocolate chip cookies, something near and dear to your heart.
Not here. No, Belgium.
Oh, what a great answer. Wrong, but great. Wow. Created in the U.S. They were invented by Ruth Wakefield in the 30s at the Toll House Inn in Whitman, Massachusetts. Maybe that's where Toll House got their name.
Yeah, maybe.
Could be. Next up, potato chips.
No.
Created in the U.S.
Dang it.
I know. They were invented by George Crumb. Frickin' hilarious.
Actually, I think I knew this.
Hilarious.
We just watched something on this, I think.
What do you think came first? Talking about crumbs or the dude George Crumb inventing potato chips that then invented crumbs?
Him. Just kidding. I think it came before that.
Well, he invented potato chips in 1853 in Saratoga Springs, New York.
Yeah, we literally just watched.
Yeah. After a customer complained about the thickness of his fried potatoes.
Dang it.
And he did it out of spite. He was like, you don't like this? I'll make it so thin it's going to bother you. And he's like, I love it. Gosh. Macaroni and cheese.
Oh, that has to be here. God.
I watched your thought process.
Italy.
Not created in the U.S. The dish originated in Italy.
Thank goodness.
And was popularized in the U.S. by Thomas Jefferson. We all know that, right?
Thomas Jefferson's coming.
When he brought back a pasta machine from his trip to Europe. Next up.
Because he lived in France for a long time.
Did he? Mm-hmm. Pumpkin pie.
No, not here.
Not created in the U.S. Guesses?
Pumpkins. Where would pumpkins be? Pumpkins.
Careful, you're going to summon pumpkin juice if you keep saying it.
Either Scotland or...
You're close.
Ireland?
England. Early settlers brought recipes using squash and pumpkins to America in the 17th century. 3 left. Lightning round. Peanut butter.
Yes, invented here.
Yes, it is invented here. We all know that one by inventor Dr. John Harvey Kellogg.
Yep.
Maybe the same Kellogg?
I'm pretty sure.
I don't know. Next, Cobb salad.
Not here.
Created in the U.S.
Really?
Robert Howard Cobb. I'm telling
Good
you,
old
maybe
Mr.
George
Cobb.
Crumb. If only he was named George Potato Chip, it would have made sense.
Chip.
Invented in Hollywood, California in the 30s.
Wow.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Last one, the Reuben sandwich.
No. Actually, I don't even know what's in a Reuben sandwich.
Me either. But when I think Reuben, I think pastrami. And when I think pastrami, I think like Jewish delis.
Oh, yeah.
But it says created in the U.S. Reuben sandwich invented in the 20th century with his origins often attributed to a chef named Reuben, oh boy, Kulakowski, nailed it, in Omaha, Nebraska, or Arnold Reuben in New York City. We don't know which, but what we do know is Reuben's in one of their names of the inventors. They're in both of the names, but one of the inventors has Reuben in the name. This has been Born in the USA. Isn't it sad we can never play that game? It's got such a good theme song.
It does. It's okay, though.
All right. You want to jump into some stories?
Yeah, I have stories today.
You have stories?
I have stories.
Okay, me? Sure. Well, I'll just, I'll close this little agenda over here and just let you take the wheel.
Kellie, take the wheel. If I were to say...
Yes.
This term, not this term.
This is a word association game?
No, would it freak you out?
I'm listening.
Giant, flying, venomous spiders.
Would it freak me out? Yes, it would freak me out. Giant, flying, venomous spiders.
They're coming to the United States. To the United States.
To the USA
of America. They're coming here to the U.S. Can you believe it? Your mom told me about this just so nonchalantly the other day in the kitchen. Like, have you heard about the venomous flying spiders? I was like, I'm sorry, what? And she went, your worst nightmare. And I said, are they coming here? And her response, I haven't had time to read about it yet. I was like, you can't just drop that on me.
It's been a bad year for mutant insects. We've got flying venomous spiders, zombie cicadas, which seem to be kind of nothing. I don't know if that actually went anywhere.
I have no idea.
But tell me about the most scary sci-fi FX movie.
So here's what I
have
know.
Never heard of.
They're coming in this summer. Joro spiders. That's their name. Joros. They're Joro spiders. They come from East Asia or Asia. I shouldn't say East Asia.
Dang, they're really flying then.
They're known as the Trichonephila clavata or the Joro spider. I was right, from East Asia.
You got Australian at the end.
Spider.
Oh, the Joro spider.
That's where all the spiders are from. It's
true.
from East Asia, and it can grow. This spider can grow to be the size of your palm.
And still fly?
So it can grow up to be about 4 inches. That's not 4 inches. I just need you to know. And they're normally yellow with legs that can grow 4 inches. I'm sorry. I don't think you understand. That's a huge ass spider.
Is there a picture on your phone?
Yeah, I do have some pictures. But
that sounds like the size of a giant moth.
It's huge. And the yellow, or the female ones are yellow. The male ones, they're not nearly as big, but they are blue and black in color, which is scary in and of itself.
I hope like hawks and stuff like fight them midair.
So that'd be cool, but I don't think so. Here's the deal. The more I did research, the more I learned stuff. Here's the deal. These spiders are really great. I'm giving you lots of information because I thought it was interesting, but they weave like golden webs, not made of real gold, but it's like yellow or golden webs, and they can be up to 10 feet. That's how big their webs can be.
That's
and
terrifying. That's huge.
They're pretty strong and pretty.
That's like a mansion.
For a spider, right? Try to save that one once they've left, you know? But they can thrive in urban environments, which is bad news for us here.
Bad news.
Specifically, again, they're coming to New York. So sorry for anyone that's listening in New York that you guys have to deal with that. Here's the deal. They can't actually fly. Because I asked the question, I said, do they have wings? Like, what is this mutant spider that can fly? Although they are really big, they're light enough that they can create little parachutes with their webs through the air.
Like Spider-Man. I guess Spider-Man doesn't do that.
They travel with the speed of the wind, giving the illusion that they're flying through the process of like ballooning. So they make little silk webs that act as parachutes, which I'm like, that's so smart.
That. But also still terrifying.
Yeah. Here's what I know. While they are venomous, they're not venomous to us. So a bite is not deadly. Who knows what that means? It could still be bad, but it's not deadly. When threatened, these spiders will play dead for around a minute, but can stay motionless for as long as an hour, which that to me, I was like,
Yeah, but they're so big. Do you even hit it with a shoe?
Could you imagine if you thought it was dead and then you tried to sweep it up and all of a sudden it started, and they're
running,
4 inches
flying
long.
At you?
Here's the deal.
Yeah.
There's good news. I don't ever want to see the spider. I won't be going to New York in the summer.
Never.
They think that this is actually going to be really helpful. They think that it's going to be help with a lot of the agriculture because they're
going to eat the mice and small dogs, hide your chihuahuas and mini poodles.
They're saying that they'll actually help catch some of the spiders and help our ecosystem a little bit more in those cultural areas and even in like the cities. So we'll see if it ends up being a good thing or a bad thing. I'm absolutely terrified. 4 inches is huge. I don't think this is fun. This is the spider.
Oh, its body's not as big as I thought, but it is thirsty.
Look at those legs.
It looks like a snake that has the coloring that you're like, yep, that's not a snake you mess with.
Yeah. No. And also they have been spotted as far north as Maryland.
And as far west as not California?
I don't think so. They can't control where they end up, but they can fly. So,
well, that's horrifying.
There's a lot of information. Sorry if it was kind of boring, but it was terrifying to me, and I felt like I needed to share.
No, it's good. Now I know what it's like to sit and listen to a story that is totally creepy and horrible. Not a bad story, but a horror story. Yikes! Let's see if I can cleanse our palate.
I have another one.
You what?
Yeah, I have another story. I thought you told me the story. And then last night I started to kind of tell you and you were like, I don't know what that story is. So it's either Ashley May or Peter. One of them told me this story.
All right. Well, I'm here.
Unless you're like, I feel like halfway in the middle of the story, you're going to be like, oh, I do know that story.
Let's find out.
You know who Glenn Powell is?
No.
So Glenn Powell is a rising actor. He's probably been acting for a long time. And I just know of him now because he's from Anyone But You with Sydney Sweeney. He's also in the new movie Hitman, which I really want to see.
I
think they're both Netflix releases or something like that. I don't know. I'm very excited. Cute. Personable, charismatic. He's great. He was on a podcast recently where he shared a story where he said, do you want to hear a crazy story? And this crazy story said, so my sister's friend went on a date with him or went out at some point in time. They went on a date with this guy. And she got like a creepy vibe from him. Like she was like, maybe it's just like first date jitters, whatever. I don't know. So she proceeded to go back to his house with him. Mm-hmm. This weird guy. I guess she had these weird feelings. Again, I don't know why you would stick around, but she stuck around. This guy asked her, hey, can I give you a massage?
Ooh,
and she was
like, first date?
First date. And she's like, okay, sure. So they proceeded to he starts rubbing stuff like lotion on her back and proceeded to do that stuff. And then somewhere in the middle, I don't know if she got creeped out or what happened, but she ended up leaving.
Yeah. Well, finally, the first right choice.
Yeah. The next day, she ends up going to the hospital because her skin is really itchy. And she doesn't know why, but she's like, it's so itchy. So she goes to the hospital. She goes to the hospital and the doctor does some tests and comes back and says, hey, the lotion that was put on you is actually something that was bought on the black market. Oh. And what it does is it helps to contain something that helps break down skin for human consumption. And he was like, he's like, you have to give me the information of this person that you went over to this house with. Because we have to get the police involved.
He was going to eat her?
Yes. So the police get involved. They go to this guy's house. And this girl, I don't know how she lucked out. I don't know how she was able to get away. But they found several other female bodies there.
What?
That he'd been eating.
What?
Isn't that crazy? So Glenn Powell's sister's friend almost got eaten by a cannibal.
Do we know who this cannibal is?
No.
Is there news on it? Or are we just reporting fake news?
I'm not reporting fake news.
That's nuts.
Here.
That reminds me of who was the 70s killer in like Seattle and stuff? The serial killer, Ted Bundy. It seems a little Ted Bundy-ish, except a
Ted
cannibal.
Bundy didn't eat anybody.
Who did? Was it John Wayne Gacy who did that?
Hannibal Lecter, if you consider him a real person.
Oh, he was eating with his friends?
No, he wasn't. I'm going to...
Well, thanks for bringing in 2 terrifying stories.
You're welcome.
I'm impressed. Are you still looking for something on there?
I'm looking to see if they had any
follow-ups?
Yeah.
Wow. Well, while you keep looking at that...
Isn't that crazy? I'm not going to find it. I'm going to listen to you. Because
No.
I thought it was such a crazy story. I was like, that's absolutely insane. So ladies out there, number 1, be cautious. Don't go back to someone's house on the first date. Number 2, no massage.
Definitely not on the first
Maybe
date.
look around. See if you can find any dead bodies before you do that.
Yeah.
Use your sniffer.
Use your sniffer.
Sniff around.
It smells like dead bodies in here. Hey, what's that walk-in refrigerator over there? What's that about? What's that?
You a chef?
Are you a chef? He's like, in
Of
certain
sorts,
ways.
yeah.
Oh, that's gross. Okay, so I'm going to pull up a story which has nothing to do with eating other human beings, but it is weird in its own way. All right, perfect. So the first story for me, I guess it's technically our third story. We're going to have a lot of stories today. I can't wait. This is what it's called. This is by ABC2. They call themselves Katu, K-A-T-U. It's like a local ABC station, I'm sure.
Cat2.
The title is Dead Whale on Oregon Beach Will Not Be Blown Up. Quote, history isn't repeating. So the reason I clicked on this. Yes.
Okay.
And I have the video.
And I bet you all of that whale carcass went everywhere when they blew it up.
If you thought that,
smelled for a long time.
You would be correct.
Yeah.
So I started reading the story because I was like, it's kind of a non-story, but the story behind the story was interesting. You know, like, what do you mean it won't happen again? So hear me out. Oregon coast in Oregon, the dead humpback whale that washed up in, I don't know how to say this, Nehalem, N-E-H-A-L.
I know, you tell us.
E-M State Park after it was hit and killed by a boat. Will not be blown up. Quote, history isn't repeating itself, the agency says. The OSP said on a social media post recently, making the rounds, claiming they were going to blow up the beached whale later in June. The rumor was likely in reference to an infamous, quote, exploding whale from the 1970s, an incident that achieved worldwide notoriety after it was filmed and reported. Now,
that's crazy.
In 1970, so now 54-ish years ago, a 45-foot sperm whale was washed up on the beach near Florence, and they said it later became a stinking whale of a problem.
Of course.
3 days later, on November 12th, the dead whale exploded into history with what was described as the first ever viral news story. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
'Cause that's basically what we do here. Let me see. There was, I'm not going to read all of this stuff to you. Here it is. This is what you were talking about. The Oregon Highway Division tried to dispose of the carcass by loading it down with dynamite and letting it rip. But instead, a neatly disintegrated, or it should say nearly disintegrated the dead animal. A massive explosion took place, raining down rotten whale and blubber across the beach, across spectators and their cars.
Yeah, of course. And it smelled like whale for forever.
Here we go. 5-4. You're about to see it explode in real time. It's right in the center. Boom.
Yeah. Come on,
guys. I was like, that's not that exciting. Like,
in 1974 it probably was.
Oh, I'm sure. This is pre-internet. People were like, are you going to see the whale? Like it was an eclipse. But it wasn't until I kept watching this video and they panned over to people's cars in the parking lot.
They like crushed their car.
They crushed these cars. The whale blubber exploded and the pieces were so big that it crushed the roofs of these cars.
Wonder if the insurance Covered that.
They're like, this was not an act of nature.
It's like how they're supposed to get home.
Isn't that nuts?
That's crazy.
Because when you see the thing blow up, you just assume it's little itty bitty pieces, but no, huge carcass pieces. Then they still had to get like a tractor and get the remaining pieces somewhere else.
Idiots.
Look at that. Look at that.
Oh my gosh. Just push it back into the water. I'm just kidding.
If everybody takes a part of it, we can all push it in together. Anyway, I thought that was pretty fun.
That is fun and also crazy. And also, don't do it again.
The 60s and 70s seem like a wild time.
But how could you not think through that? Because my brain went directly there. Like if you blow it up, all the pieces are just going to fall down somewhere else.
Yeah, but you have like 25 years of the internet under your belt. You've seen a lot of stuff.
Yeah, but also, that's just how it works.
That's true. I don't know what they were
like spaghetti sauce? Like,
yeah, that's probably what it looked like.
Yeah. But you know what I mean? Like when it bubbles and it goes everywhere, it's like the same idea. Anyway.
So gross also. But you said your mom told me, no, sorry, my mom told you that first story about flying spiders.
Yeah, did my parents tell you a story?
No, but your brother brought one up and I later found it.
Ryan?
Yes.
Thanks, Ryan.
Man, 71, arrested after LAPD finds nearly 3,000 boxes of stolen Lego sets.
It's my type of man right there.
At his home.
I'm just kidding.
The thief, the 71-year-old
the
part?
Legos.
Or the Legos.
Anybody have 2,000 boxes of Legos they want to give me? Like Lego sets?
3,000. No,
3,
I've got photos too.
Oh, I want to see.
Here's the first one. Now I was trying to figure out and it looks like this looks like the stock house of someone, like a warehouse. Smart. Totally. There's another one here. And I started looking.
Wow.
Here, you can just thumb through that because I was like, it looked like he was mostly stealing Star Wars, but it seems like he was just taking anything he could.
Yeah.
Now, as you check that out, I'll give you the highlights. Okay. So essentially, him and this woman were working in tandem. The woman would go to, I don't know what the store was called, a Lego type store that's sold Legos, and she would steal the Legos. The people at the store started getting suspicious, so they brought the LAPD in.
How did she steal them? Like, these are big sets.
I know, they're huge. So I forget what the date was, but recently they saw her steal it, and they just kept tracking her and following her rather than just stopping her.
Yeah.
And so she followed her to this dude's house where she dropped off the Lego sets. Then that's where the police busted them with over 3,000 units, which is, we're talking tens, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars.
How is she stealing them though? Like these are huge Legos. Like some of them are small, but you have like, what's this called? God, I don't know Star Wars.
Like a TIE fighter or something. The Millennium Falcon.
The Millennium Falcon.
And there's a bunch of them in there.
I know, that's a huge set. There's a Queer Eye set I see in here. There's a couple of Harry Potter sets that I see. There's a couple cars.
What you don't know is Kelly's also on eBay right now seeing if they're still available because there's a lot of sets that she purchased.
Yeah, these look like the Mario sets.
Yeah.
That like you can play and interact with.
Yeah, on the left side. I think those are all the Mario ones. She was just
some
stealing
small ones
stuff.
like the small sets, like the postcard sets that are up here, or like the flowers you can build. God, I know too much about Legos.
And I was like, you're really nerding out. But hear me out. My favorite part of the article was at the end where it said, where the LAPD was pretty sure that they're selling these Legos. One, because duh. But two, because multiple people showed up to try to purchase the units while they were raiding his house. So potential buyers kept coming and they were like, hey, is that it? Do you have the Millennium Falcon?
Can I have it? How much? Because they're probably selling it for cheaper
and they're
than
like,
what.
LAPD, get on the ground.
Like, I didn't know they were stolen. They just told me they were selling it.
I just thought this guy, he had a connection. Yeah, but that was what happened there. So pretty cool.
Dang.
This is the second week in a row we've talked
He's
about
in LA
weird things
too,
being
so
stolen.
I'm sad I didn't know.
Well, he's in jail now. Sad
I know.
I didn't know.
I may have gone and bought some Legos. I'm just kidding. I wouldn't do that. Yes, I would.
No.
Although
you make your husband buy them all for you.
I did talk about that. I got the new villains, the 100th anniversary villains.
Yeah. Have you built any more of that?
I did. I built a little bit of it a couple days ago.
Which one? Because I wasn't there when you were building.
I didn't finish it, but it's like there's like 3 bags that go into the whatever I'm building next, which I think is the Beauty and the Beast book.
Uh-huh.
Or VH. I think it might be the VH cassette.
The clamshell for the cassette?
Yeah, whatever that's called. It might be that. It might be the book. I don't really know. But I only got like 2/3 of the way done with it.
You had to ditch it?
Well, I was getting tired. And for me, Legos aren't always about finishing. They're about like enjoying the process.
Yep.
And so as I got tired, I was starting to get annoyed. And I was like, this isn't fun anymore. So I'm going to stop.
I no longer like the process. Well, I've got one more quick news story.
Sure.
It's sad if you think about it, but it was pretty funny to read. Here it is.
I'll try to turn off my emotional thinker.
Meth-addicted fish, aggro starlings, caffeinated minnows, animals radically changed by human drugs. Let me say this for anyone who is an animal fan. I am not laughing or saying we should be testing on animals, and that's actually not even what's happening here. This is these giant pharmaceutical companies and their runoffs into water supplies that are affecting the wildlife.
Yeah.
Yes. So
aren't there laws against that?
Yeah, for sure. But, laws are, meant to be broken, like, stealing and selling Lego sets and
that's fine.
Getting fish drunk or whatever it is.
Oh, my God.
Listen to this. From brown trout becoming addicted to methamphetamine to European perch losing their fear of predators due to depression medication, scientists warn that modern pharmaceuticological...
Nailed it.
First try. Let's leave it at that. It was close enough. Pharmaceutical and illegal drug pollution is becoming a growing threat to wildlife. A couple other examples.
Where's Robert Irwin when we need him?
Oh, you're using his name now instead of Stave, his dad.
Because Robert Irwin is still alive.
Yeah, but he's in Australia.
Yeah, but he's doing lots of stuff for the wildlife. So I'm saying.
No, that's the most wholesome family in the world.
I know.
Drug exposure is causing significant, unexpected changes to some animals' behavior and anatomy. Female starlings, which are, I looked it up, they're birds. I was like, I don't know, it sounds like a made-up creature. Female starlings, dosed with antidepressants, such as Prozac, at concentrations found in sewage water, are becoming less attractive to potential mates, with male birds behaving more aggressively and singing less to entice them than undosed counterparts. So these two birds, the women are like, they're not impressing me. And the dudes are like, I'm not even really going to sing to try to impress this chick.
They're
theoretically, theoretically, these animals could just stop populating and disappear. Yes. The contraceptive pill, I don't know what they're referring to because Prozac's not that. So maybe they're talking about a contraceptive pill in general, has caused sex reversals in some fish populations, leading to a collapse in numbers and a local extinction event as male fish reverted to female organs. Isn't this crazy?
That's crazy.
Scientists have said that modern pharmaceutical waste is having significant consequences for wildlife exposed to discharges in their ecosystem, like I talked about, and warned that it could have unintended consequences for humans. There was only one other thing that I wanted to say. I won't show you the picture because it's actually kind of sad. Worth mentioning, it says drugs such as caffeine, anti-anxiety medication, antidepressants, and antipsychotics were all entering the ecosystem, as were illegal drugs like cocaine and methamphetamines. But let's see where it talks about it right here. Sorry, it's taking me a second.
It's okay. We'll fill the time.
Oh, here we go. Bertram, I didn't mention who that was, someone I talked to, pointed that a notable example of diclofenac, who knows, an anti-inflammatory drug routinely given to cattle in South Asia at the time, caused India's vulture population to fall by more than 97% between 1992 and 2007. The country subsequently had a surge in rabies cases from dogs that were feeding on the cattle carcasses because the birds weren't eating them anymore. So it's like it's a domino effect.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's the whole thing. It goes on, but those are the big pieces of it. But isn't that crazy?
That's crazy.
Even to like evolutionarily speaking, that fish are like changing their
sex
reproductive organs. Yeah, it's nuts. Anyway, stop dumping pharmaceuticals in the water, I guess.
Did the pharmaceutical companies get in trouble?
I didn't read anything about that.
I'm just curious.
No, historically, yes, they have.
Yeah.
It's illegal to dump medical waste, just in a river or whatever, even though companies have done it. But yeah, this is, I think, even more than just that.
Yeah.
I think because people are using these at higher rates, this is all speculation, I have no idea, but people are using them at higher rates, and as they secrete them from their body or release them from their body, it's going into the sewage areas and places that, whether it's rats or birds or whatever, they're picking it up. It's not just medical dumping, but it's, just in the system now. So.
Dang.
Zombie cicadas, flying spiders, antidepressant birds. 2024 is a weird year.
Gosh.
You ready to get into a couple unpopular opinions and then
always, I guess.
Start going? Did you bring any of those?
I didn't. Not this week. Just stories.
I'm proud of you.
Thanks.
64 episodes in. Finally bringing something to the table.
That's not true.
No, you have. You used to in the beginning a lot more.
I've been overwhelmed.
Fun facts with Kellie. Remember that?
I've been overwhelmed.
Would you
Maybe
rather
I'll bring him back.
With Kellie?
What?
Yeah. Well, you're all good. So this is one that I saved from last week, and I want to get your thought on it. Social interaction, in quotes, social interaction is a subject that will likely need to be formally taught in schools very soon.
Yes.
I agree with that.
Yes. I'm really struggling with this in our personal life.
Okay, tell me
and
about
we
it.
have a great daughter who actually is really good at social interaction, which
She
I feel
really
really
is.
grateful for. But we've talked about this before. The new play date is like over FaceTime or like Minecraft or like, a game that you can play online together. That's like the new play dates. There are still play dates that happen, but like most time it's like, oh, can we play Minecraft together? And you can't do that. Well, I guess you can't do that.
You can't do it in person, but it's so much easier.
It just tends to be over that. And so it's a big thing in our household. You know this.
Me? Yeah, I live in the household.
Yeah, but that I'm like, I feel like we need to put limits on like how long she can like FaceTime or be on her iPad or any of those things, because I watch as like, we'll have a whole conversation with her and then she'll like be so zoned into something and then we'll be like, Brooklyn, she's like, what? She like missed the whole thing because she's so tuned in. And then you go to ask her another question and she's already back.
Yeah, see, you and I see this a little bit differently. I see it in the sense that every generation has thought that the newest technology was rotting the kids' minds.
I don't think it's rotting her mind.
Or detrimental to the kids. When we were kids, my parents would have to get my attention a few times when I was watching TV because I was locked in on it. And I can tell you, for me, I wish I could get locked into television shows and stuff now. Like, that's actually something that I think is a benefit for Brooklyn, that she's not so distracted by the tyranny of the world that she can just get lost in watching something. So I actually like that.
I think there's pros and cons to it because I think it's a good thing as well.
Yeah, but what I'm saying too is, in terms of social interaction, I think that's different. I do think you should have limits for your kid in terms of technology and iPads and YouTube and television and that kind of stuff. I think boundaries are good.
Yeah.
I think you were talking about FaceTime and all that kind of stuff earlier. Like, I wouldn't put limits on like...
Not FaceTiming, because that's interaction.
Right, but that's the thing, and that's what we're talking about: social interaction, not just technology. But if someone came over for, we'll call it a traditional play date, I wouldn't be like, "You guys have played for an hour now. Go take some solo time."
Yeah, you're right.
I would be like, "No, like change up what you're doing, maybe if we need to, but that's what it is."
Yeah.
And so when B's playing Minecraft on the Xbox while FaceTiming somebody to use the chat feature, because we don't let her use just like the normal video game chat feature, like that doesn't bug me.
That's different for me. I don't know. This is a sore subject not a sore subject. It's just I feel very strongly about certain things. I think for me, I think social interaction, yes, is a big thing that kids will have to learn. I'm really lucky that our daughter is pretty good at all that stuff, but it's not just social interaction. It's like, proper etiquette is too strong of a term to say.
Right.
But it's like also teaching that. Like I was just telling you, the iPad is just so accessible for kids nowadays, or like everything, the Switch, you can take it and go with, like everything you can like take and go with you.
Yeah.
And so what I realized is that there's not a lot of focus that happens within that. Like the TV is one thing because it's a TV, it's on the wall, you can't take it with you. And so like if you walk to another room, you're focusing on that thing or whatever, right? But I think more about like, and not to call our daughter out, but like she knocked over 3 drinks in one day within like 2 hours.
Yeah.
Not because they were all accidents, but like not because of that, but truly because she could not focus long enough.
Preventable accidents.
Yeah. She could not focus long enough to like be like, oh, there's a cup there, because she can get so zoned in on stuff. So when you say social interaction, like I think there's talking and there's learning how to like have communication and stuff like that. I think that is going to be an important thing for kids to learn, but I also think it's like normal etiquette of like, when you are interacting, like what else are you looking for?
Yeah,
does that make sense? I don't know how to put that into words, but I'm like, it's not just, am I answering the question, but it's like, am I aware of my body, and am I aware of like what's going on?
Yeah.
That's what I notice about kids nowadays.
Yeah, and I think that's just something that kids have to learn. Like, what is my body doing in the space that it's in?
And for sure. And I struggle with knowing like the appropriate age ranges of that stuff. Like I asked
For
you,
sure. Yeah.
I asked you today in the car. I was like, when do kids start to really learn how to spell, like correctly?
I think like 15.
No, but do you know what I mean? Like I just don't have a frame of reference for it, and
no,
so I don't know.
But you're right. Brooklyn's got great social skills, which I really like.
Skills.
For instance, I was at this thing for her school. It was like a poetry reading thing in her class where all the kids were reading poems, right? All the parents are sitting outside waiting, and then the door of the classroom cracks open and some child's head pops out and the arm sticks wide out to the side and like a hey kind of posture. And of course, it's our kid. And she's like, hello, parents. Welcome to the poetry or poetry thing. Sorry, we're 5 minutes late. We're running a bit behind, but you can all come in now. And like, I'm sure no one told her to say that. They're just like, bring them in. But she's wired for social interaction, which is really great. But I've said this before. I don't know if I've said it on the show. If we're not there yet, I really believe that we're heading this way. I think there's going to be 3 types of people. Yeah. There's going to be creators, consumers, and commentators. Creators being ones that are creating content, whether it's on social media, television, movies, podcasts, whatever, creators. Consumers are the ones who are just going to be consuming that, but not necessarily creating it. Most of us, if not all of us, will be consumers. And then there's commentators, people talking about like the stuff. You know, someone's creating a moment playing basketball in the NBA, and then tomorrow morning, the next day, people are commenting on it. So there's creators, consumers, and commentators. Yeah. I think that there's overlap in a lot of them, but the vast majority of people are going to be consumers, not creators and not even commentators, just consumers. And I think when I think about that group that isn't necessarily creating, and it's not bad not to create, that's okay. But if you're just consuming, you're not really understanding how to have those conversations. You're not understanding, even like as a creator, I'm not saying that I'm a creator, but as a person who's creating, at least you're thinking like, how can I effectively communicate what I'm trying to say to somebody? Yeah. Like you're still thinking through that kind of stuff. I think for Brooklyn in that generation, Gen Alpha, one of the things that will set you apart in the workforce and in your career and all that kind of stuff is your ability to have conversations, not just connect, crucial conversations, difficult conversations, good conversations, all that kind of stuff. Because the more and more we get kind of secluded into our work from home environments and isolated, and like, look, everybody can yell at someone behind a keyboard or behind their phones in the Facebook comment section, but that is not healthy interaction. That is not realistic interaction. You know, the internet is a terrible place, and we see the worst of people and the way that they act. So many people, I think, there's no way you would say this to someone's face. You're only doing it because you're in the comment section of someone's post, which you shouldn't even be in the first place if you're just there to stir crap up. Yeah. But anyway, I do think that social interaction is so important, and it's what will set people apart. And back to the initial point, in unpopular opinion, I do think that it should be taught in schools, but I don't think it's going to be taught in schools. I think it needs to be taught at home.
But I think it's hard because not everyone is good at social interaction.
But there's certain things like shake someone's hand when you meet them.
Not everyone does that.
That's true. But in terms of stereotype normal
I know,
things.
I'm just saying. In the same way that I think they should teach taxes in school. Like how to do your taxes or how to like balance like your money. It's not your checkbook, but like how to like make sure, you know what I mean? How do you save? How do you do
make a budget? Yeah.
I think that those things should be taught in school before like, I don't know, PE.
Yeah, don't get me started on physical education.
And for me, honestly, so now we're just getting into stuff. I think it'd be more interesting to have like a gym class where they teach you how to like take care of your body and go to the gym more than teaching you how to like play soccer. By the time you're in high school, listen, if you haven't been playing soccer or football or anything like that for a couple of years, you're not going to make it in anything. Yeah. So why do we teach that in PE? Why not actually be like, hey, it's PE, yes, but you have like a gym period where you're going to be learning how to use different machines and like how to lift weights if you want to and all that stuff. Like, why not have that instead?
Yeah.
Because I think about it, I'm like, if I wanted to go to the gym, I don't know how to make a routine. I don't know what to do.
Well, that's what I was going to say.
Like, let's make it accessible.
In my 12 years or whatever of school through high school, and even in college, I got a little more of this, but certainly all the way through high school, no PE teacher was ever like, hey, here's how often you should be exercising, or for this many minutes a day, or here's the difference of, here's why you should do cardio versus just lifting weights or whatever. Like no one gave me the education part of physical education. Or
nutrition. Like,
you know, they were just like, today you're running the mile. Didn't know that? Too bad. You've never done that in your life. Well, this is going to suck for you for the next 45 minutes. They made it so you
didn't want to work out all the time.
Yeah, exactly. PE was awful.
Like, why not make it fun? Or like educational?
Yeah, exactly. Educational. So people would know, oh, I should be working out X amount of times a week, or even if it's walking, just getting your body moving, all that kind of stuff. Let's
change the curriculum.
Honestly, this is a topic for another day, but all of school is going to have to be changed. I was not going to talk about this, but because we're kind of talking about it, I did bring in this video because let me give you clarity. I wasn't going to bring this up, but I do think that the educational system needs to change. And I don't mean dollars and like all that kind of stuff. I don't mean in a political way. What I mean is it's insane and archaic that we still think the best way to teach a 9-year-old is to give them a textbook that 50 people have used for the last 50 years. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's weird because even being a training director for a long time or in leadership and development, you learn that there are like multiple different ways that people in general learn. So you can't do the same thing over and over again. And that's kind of what we do in schools. I mean, not our child's school.
They're pretty cool.
Do lots of things.
But
they don't teach her how to spell, but they do lots of things.
They do a lot of art. But I get it. It's like reading a textbook is like the easiest broad stroke thing that's like everyone should be able to do this.
And I think reading is an important part of learning, but there are other ways people learn too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I don't think you can take away literature because I think that is how our history is
for sure
written down. But I think there are other ways to also introduce.
There are more effective ways to convey information. One of those ways was science fiction and is becoming more close to reality.
Okay.
So I try not to bridge too many of these subjects with you because I know
oh my gosh,
you don't
just
love them.
show it.
Okay, no. So the Neuralink, have you heard about this?
It's be put in your brain.
Yes, for the last almost 10 years, Elon Musk has been working on this.
Didn't somebody die because of it?
I don't know. It's not the story I'm here to talk about.
Okay.
But if you can just boil it down, imagine putting a chip in your brain, and I understand that that's crazy, but imagine if that chip gives you all of the information that you were going to learn for the next 12 years of school.
Yeah.
Right now, I have a video of the first actual human that has a Neuralink chip or Neuralink, whatever it is, in their brain. I don't have all the details. I just came across the video. He seems to be a quadriplegic, meaning his arms and legs don't work, but he's controlling a computer. I won't spoil it. I want you to watch it.
Let me watch it.
All right. Just hit play and check it out. I'll put the video up on the screens.
So what can you show us that as a demonstration of what you can now do?
Here we go. This is the Link app. This is how I control everything. This is the app that they've uploaded onto my computer that lets me control the cursor. This is my devotional that I've been reading all the time, every day. And then this is me playing chess.
So wait a minute. You're moving the cursor. You're moving the cursor, Nolan, just by thinking about where you want it to go, or is it your eyes?
No, it's just me thinking about wherever I want it to go.
Oh, man. So you're not even tracing it with your eyes. You're just looking at it.
Nope. I can move it, and I can move the cursor around, whatever I would like to do. I don't have to be staring at it at all. I mean, it's amazing. There's not even words to describe. Yeah, there's not even words to describe how amazing this tech is.
Wow.
So if you're not watching it, which I know most of you guys listen, if you're not watching it, essentially this guy is using an app. He's got a computer screen in front of him, and he's controlling, in this case, his devotional that he's reading. And then a literal chessboard, a virtual chessboard comes up, and you're watching the cursor, the mouse, if you will, move from piece to piece. And the interviewer, it's probably Chris Cuomo or whoever, he's like, are you doing that with your eyes? We've heard about that with VR, eye tracing and that kind of stuff. He's like, no, I'm just thinking about it.
It's crazy.
So he's controlling it just by thinking about it.
Yeah.
That's a different topic of how incredible that is. But what I'm saying is now we have actual human testing of someone who's got a chip and he's controlling stuff with his brain.
Yeah.
I don't want to get into the dangers of being connected to the internet in your brain.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is we're moving so fast technologically that it doesn't make sense to be like, read this book that they printed in 1972 and we still use as our history book. There are better ways to teach people.
But yeah.
That's basically how they do that.
New history books are coming out. Yeah.
Are they? Because my school, which was a private school, was always like, well, there's not a lot of funding and you got to go to the grocery store and make a book cover for this thing. And it's got 50 kids' names in it because we've been using it since the school was started. Yeah. My book only went up to like 1980 or something. And they're like, and then at the end, it's like, what will the future hold? Not really, but it might as well have said that. Anyway, all that to say, I don't know. Do you learn life skills from school? You used to have stuff like home ec and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I think I learned life's like some stuff in like government and stuff like that. Like that was the most interesting time. And then like sign language. I wish I would have picked a different language looking back. But sign language is cool. I like learning. I think there are things to learn, but I think that's, we've talked about this before. I think going to school is probably how you learn social skills.
Yeah. That's why we put
friends.
Brooklyn into school when she was like 3.
Yeah, but you know what I mean? But also when I think back at like school, I look back at and go, okay, so like I took some science classes, physics, chemistry. Didn't really use those. Don't use those now. Barely passed them because science was so hard for me.
I barely use chemistry now.
You never
Hardly ever.
Never. I look back at math and go, yeah, there are certain concepts that you need to use, but the Pythagorean...
You nailed it. Pythagorean theorem.
Is that what it is?
A squared plus B squared equals C squared.
Yeah. We don't use that.
Barely.
We don't. What am I saying? We don't. I need to know how to do math to help my daughter with math right now, but like her math is hard.
Your dad told me the other day, he's like, you guys need to stop doing math on the podcast.
I know, because we're not good at math.
Stupid.
Yeah, he's really good at math. My brother Ryan and my dad are they can do crazy math stuff in their head. I'm not built that way, but guess what? I have a calculator in my pocket, which they told us we'd never have. But guess what I do? All the time.
We do. Yeah. I noticed how good they were at math when they were measuring on the baseboards and stuff.
I know.
And they were like, it's 37 inches and 17/18. And I was like, you got all that in a second? What does that mean?
Yeah, I'll take a centimeter. I'll take a 1/8 off or whatever. I don't even know.
It was like, what? The wibble wobble?
Math, Dad. Just kidding. But like, yeah, I look back at school and I think, what of what I learned have I used?
What was the point of it all?
Things that I have learned or used. Sign language.
The
Sometimes.
one thing that 2 minutes ago, you're like, I wish I didn't do that.
But I mean, other language, like if I would have learned Spanish, I would have probably used that more. Do you know what I mean? But like sign language, I've used that. Speaking ability, because I took speech and debate.
And
theater.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I learned some of that stuff. A little bit of that. Singing at the time, because I was in choir, but I did a lot of singing outside of school.
Yeah.
And that is about it.
Yep. I can't even remember any of my high school classes.
Yeah, I mean, you took math, English. I mean, obviously, reading is a big one, and writing and doing that. But when was the last time I wrote a short story or an essay on something? Couldn't tell you.
Yeah,
I would have much rather you taught me how to write a proposal for a raise or how to write or something like that. Like, yes, I need writing skills. I would love to learn how to do that. How to make a resume.
Right.
These are things that people don't know how to do. They have to figure out how to make a budget.
You know what I would like? A critical thinking class.
I should teach a class on all this stuff. Crucial conversations, how to make a budget.
It's like an entrepreneurial class, entrepreneurship class.
Yeah. How to put together a resume, how to make a proposal business plan to either ask for a raise or propose.
How to quit.
A raise. How to quit well.
How to interview well.
I got this.
You got this. Well, stay tuned for her 1999 class. That's dollars, not years.
I know. I was like, my class from 1999.
That's right. The year my textbook was released.
It's true. Some of these things I don't know how we got here, social interaction, but I'm jumping to school. But I don't understand why we teach certain things that we do. I don't think that it's applicable or helpful. And I think it's actually setting our kids up for failure.
Yeah.
Because it just is. And then you send them off to college to get out student loans and to get be in a bunch of debt.
That's like the biggest American joke. They're like, well, we're not going to give you money unless it's for school because we want you to start your adult life with like $60K plus in debt.
Yeah.
Because that's how the system works.
But then when you go to apply for a job after paying a bunch of money to get your degree, guess what? You don't have enough experience to get the job that you actually just worked your tail off for 4 years.
The whole system's broken.
It's very odd.
Well, let's wrap it up with one more. I've got a bunch. We only did one, but I've got a bunch. Do you want one that I think you'll agree with or I think you'll disagree with?
I don't care. You surprise me.
You don't have a preference?
No.
The middle seat in the airplane is the best seat.
That's the worst seat.
Let me tell you why, though. I prefer the middle seat on airplanes with the assumption, not me, the assumption that two strangers are not crazy. Pros, not having your shoulder and leg bumped every single time a person walks by. I agree with that, but that's why I go with the window.
The window seat, yeah.
Getting up to use the bathroom isn't as complicated as the window seat.
That's fair.
Also true. He's like, they're winning me over. over a little bit.
No.
It actually has the most leg room after takeoff. That's true. After takeoff, you're allowed to have your personal items under your legs instead. Switching gives you more leg room than other seats. I don't know what that means. It's actually the least awkward seat when receiving snacks. No big reach from the attendant. That's a hilarious pro. And 2 more things. You can almost always get really close to the front of the airplane if you're booking closer to the flight.
That's true.
That's true. This one I agree with. You by far get the best AC fan.
That's true.
That is 100% true. And it's funny to sit in awkwardly when the aisle seat is a no-show, but the window seat is still there. I guess that would be the cons. It's kind of a compelling argument.
I'm just going to keep flying Delta Comfort Plus and have the 2-seaters.
She's bougie, y'all.
I am.
She's bougie. So bougie, by the way, that when she's coming to me with my gigs where I'm going to be working, she still gets the window and I always go in the middle seat.
Yeah, but
because we need to make sure she's rested and comfortable.
I'll sit in the middle if you want me to sit in the middle.
You know I would never do that.
I know, but I would.
You're too scared. You're too scared.
Too scared.
Did I win you over to the middle seat?
No, but I would sit in it for you.
Wow.
I've offered a couple times and you're like, no.
That's like a Bieber level of offer. I would jump into cold water for you. It's not like an extreme thing. I'd sit in the middle seat for you.
I'd do it. I'd sit in the middle seat.
I would go in C group for you.
No, that I won't do.
That's where I draw the line.
Yeah, not on Southwest.
But I won't do that.
No, yeah, you got to get better. I'm a Delta girl. I like Delta. Delta.
Well, let me throw in one more since we did that one so fast.
I know. I knew it was going to be fast.
Cantaloupe shouldn't ever be in fruit salads.
I hate cantaloupe. You know who likes cantaloupe?
Who?
Your mom.
Really?
And your grandma. Your mom's going to be like, I don't like cantaloupe. But I feel like she told me that. But I know your grandma likes cantaloupe.
I do
think
not
it's
like
such a weird flavor.
I don't like melons other than watermelons.
That's it.
Watermelon may be the best fruit. Definitely top 5. But any other melon,
I think
cantaloupe,
peaches are pretty good.
Honeydew. Wait, I'm sorry. Peaches?
Yeah, best fruit.
Oh, I was like,
Or
not
pears.
a melon, but now I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, you said best fruit. And I was like, well, let's not get crazy.
I don't know.
I do
It's
like
pretty
watermelon,
good.
though.
It is pretty good. Watermelon's great. Watermelon.
Bananas?
I agree. Oh, bananas got to be up at the top.
Yeah.
We're real close. Pineapples are good.
Pineapples
typically.
are really good. Mangoes. when they're
Mangoes are
yummy.
okay.
Peaches are good.
If you get the right ones.
Pears, I do love pears a lot.
Pears are a little hit or miss. They're a little fibrous for my teeth, but I do love it.
Strawberries.
Strawberries are hit or miss. When they're good, they're great. When
Blue-
they're bad, they're terrible.
Blueberries are the same.
Thing.
Raspberries
Those
are
are
the
going to get moldy
same.
fast. Raspberries are okay. Blackberries get moldy too fast.
Apples are great though. You don't like apples as
Apples
much. And
are
grapes.
boring. I read an unpopular opinion too that said, at their best, apples are the best fruit. And I was like, at their best, they're still okay.
They're great. I like apples a lot.
But back to
Gala
what
apples,
I'm saying.
Ambrosia apples. But wait, you didn't get through all the fruits. Prickly pears.
You think I'm going to go through all the fruits?
Prickly pear is pretty good.
A
Pretty
prickly
good.
pear?
Pretty
What's
good.
that?
Cactus fruit.
You've actually had that?
Yes, I have. And we also just had a bunch of prickly pear. Well, I guess I did. No, you did. You had a prickly pear margarita in
Yeah.
Colorado.
Did I?
You did.
Was that the spicy one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I was too focused on the
spice.
jalapenos.
I
they
took the
put in there.
jalapenos out. I also had a prickly pear, some other type of drink at the restaurant we were at the day before. And I was like, this is good. So good. Sorry.
Well, back to the cantaloupe problem.
Sorry. I do not like cantaloupe.
Specifically in fruit salad. There are some fruits
No.
that screw. It's a bad apple spoils the bunch.
Papayas.
Oh, sorry,
Spoils
Shem.
everything.
I tried, but I'm a fruit
They're
boy
smelly.
too. They
taste
It's like
bad.
eating feet. It's a lot like eating feet.
Maybe she's into that. Who knows?
Maybe we'll have to ask her. I am not. Yet. But cantaloupe ruins everything. I think there's certain fruits that don't ruin everything, particularly the fruits that aren't like the inside of the flesh. When you cut open a cantaloupe, it's like the juices are all over all the fruit. It all tastes like cantaloupe.
Here's what I have to say though, and this may be an unpopular opinion in and of itself. I think that putting watermelon in a fruit salad also kind of ruins the fruit salad.
I think it ruins the watermelon.
Yeah, no, yeah, but
Not the fruit salad, but the
but
watermelon gets like soggy.
the watermelon. Yeah. But all of the juices go over all the other.
Maybe it's
and
a
if-
melon problem.
Yeah, because melons tend to have more water in them. So for me, I go just put it on the side, and then like make the fruit salad. The fruit salad can be like grapes and raspberries and strawberries and blackberries and blueberries. Like think berries.
Basically berries,
just berries.
just berries, yeah.
You can put apples in there, but even apples sometimes.
Okay, no, you have to agree though. Apples are literally and figuratively the bottom of the fruit salad.
They are.
Like, they're the things you eat last. They're usually sour and bitter. I don't know if it's because they put like lemon juice on them to save them.
So they don't get
but
brown.
It's horrible. It's the parts that you throw away at the end. You're picking around for the mandarin oranges.
Yeah, but the mandarin oranges are good in a fruit salad.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah, I agree with that. But also most of the time when people most people go for like green apples or like basic red apples. Like when they do in salad, you got to do like ambrosia or like gala apples or Fiji apples.
Girl,
Fuji,
you know a lot about apples.
My mom really likes apples, but she's very particular because not all apples are good. Granny Smith apples, let me just tell you, not good for eating. Those are the green ones that are like sour. Ugh. No. Dip them in caramel. Eat it that way. That's fine. Or chocolate. Whatever you want. But don't put them in a fruit salad. But people do. And I'm like, no. If I wanted sour, I would eat a lemon.
And she'll do it too. I've seen it happen.
I will not. I'm just saying. But if you did like one of the apples that I mentioned earlier, Ambrosia's my mom's favorite. They're very sweet and they're very good. Truly.
I'm pretty sure that's a perfume.
No.
I'm pretty sure that is the mucus ball from a whale when they eat a squid and the beak gets caught in their throat.
An ambrosia?
No, it's called ambergris.
Yeah.
Pretty close though.
Different.
Pretty close.
Different.
Tastes about the
All
same.
right.
Maybe. Illegal. People do eat it.
Did you learn about this on Bob's
ambergris.
Burgers?
I've learned most of what I know about life from Bob's Burgers. Illegal to sell because people would hunt the whales to get it, and that's bad.
Yeah.
Unless they're washed up, in which case you blow them up with dynamite.
No, don't do it.
That is
Full
how we
circle
come
moment.
full circle. That's it. Anything coming up that you're excited about?
Moving back into our home.
We've been saying that for like 3 weeks now.
Yeah, I think I'm having a fun gig. I have introduced a new offering in my photo booth business.
I love that you call them offerings.
A new activation. It's like a retro one. It's taking like very nice pictures like on a DSLR camera, but then printing them as Polaroids and then putting a custom sleeve on them. They're great. They're awesome, amazing. And we're going to be doing a pretty like work for a bigger company doing this. Actually, maybe 2 here soon. And so I'm very excited about that.
Is this a company that maybe you've worked for before and we've talked about on the show?
Again, I've signed an NDA. I mean, I don't really know any details about it other than I need to like talk to Troy and then like order what I need. But I'm excited about it.
Nice.
I think it'll be fun and cool. Look on my Instagram so you can see it there because I can't talk about it before, but I think I can talk about it after.
I'm sure you'll be able to talk about it after. We'll check that out.
I got to read my NDA again.
Summer's coming, so I'm excited about that. It's almost time for beaches and pools and beaches.
I don't want to go to the beach a lot this summer, although we said that last year and we went twice.
Yeah, we were busy last summer. I don't actually know if that's true. We're busy building a podcast. We're coming up to the 1 year anniversary.
Ooh, maybe we'll have a guest for the first time.
Maybe.
That was hysterical.
Anyway, I was looking it up, and we shot the first episode in July, but we released it, I believe, the 1st of August. So we have been doing it for a year.
Yeah, I think I want to do a series, a small series, a couple week series.
Like of what?
Of guests.
Really?
Yeah, I have an idea. We'll talk about it off air.
Called the New Studio Series?
No.
All right. Well, there's a little teaser for you. We'll talk about that off the air. Well, hope you have a wonderful week. I hope you enjoyed the show as much as we enjoyed doing it and putting it together. Kelly bringing 2 heavy-hitting stories to keep you up at night.
You're welcome.
Really driving
Flying
the point
spiders. And beware of lotion.
Oh, those were creepy stories.
It's okay. It was, sorry, I could say this. It was better than what I thought it was because when I initially heard the story, my brain didn't go to cannibal. My brain went, oh my God, is there like a black market lotion out there that like basically paralyzes someone? So they like rub it on you and it paralyzed. Like that was what I thought.
Yeah.
So hear me out. The
Not
like
better.
making it itchy was
not better.
It's better in some ways because I was like, if people had access to a lotion that they paralyzed girls and they could do whatever they wanted with them.
Kel, what did you think this was going to happen, this itchy lotion? If he had put enough on, what was going to happen to this woman?
I don't know. She would be eaten.
Because?
I don't think it was going to paralyze her.
What was it going to do?
It starts to break down her skin to make it easier for consumption.
And then you think he was just going to like whack her over the head with something?
Knock her out in some way, shape, or form. Who knows? Probably kill her. I don't know. Can I say that? Unalive her. Whoops. Sorry.
As long as we don't clip it, I think we're fine. But that's for a crime investigation podcast.
Yeah,
of which
we're not
this
that.
is not.
But I'm just saying, hear me out. I'm not saying that it's like good that's out there.
It kind of seems like you are.
No, I'm not. But the women will agree with me.
Yes.
That it is scary. The likelihood. Okay, listen. The amount of cannibals out there, not very high.
As far as you know.
I'm just saying the amount of pervy men out there that do sketchy stuff to girls is way higher than the amount of cannibals out there. You have to agree with that.
Yes. I do not joke about sexual assault and that kind of stuff. So I would wholeheartily agree that is definitely true.
That's what I mean. So I'm not saying that it's necessarily better, but what I'm saying is if there was a black market lotion that paralyzed, that would allow
like chloroform.
Yeah, but just by giving you massage, it would paralyze your body, and so like anyone could take advantage of you in any way, shape, or form.
I get it. There's just so many easier ways than to use the lotion. You need to lure this person in, have them take all their clothes off, be willing to let you rub something all over their bodies. There's a lot easier ways.
It wouldn't be that. It'd be like, oh, my hands are dry. Here's some lotion. Put it on. And then they kind of follow you in the same way that, because they can't really put stuff in drink. God, am I coming up with the newest thing? I shouldn't.
Don't. Stop talking.
People put stuff in drinks, but they have the things that cover
terrible.
it now.
Right.
And so they have to think of new things because men are the worst.
They are the worst. What could we use?
The absolute worst.
What could we invent that would cover our skin? Like
gloves.
Clothes. Maybe we could try clothes.
Shut it. Just don't take lotion from anybody you don't know. You hear me out there, ladies? Don't do it. Freaking do it. But I'm just saying it was scarier to me thinking that it could be something that could drug someone or like paralyze them. Or that is a scarier thought for me than something that would like break down my skin. Cause there's just not many, there's not that many cannibals out there. And the likelihood of you running into one is not as high as you running into someone who wants to take advantage of you in a negative way.
Okay. Now that
that is the truth.
Hardly working.
No, it's not funny.
Do you think?
But can you wait? No. Can you understand where I'm coming from?
Can
Can you agree with
like
that?
A lunatic.
No, shut it. Can you agree with that and say, oh
do you
my God,
even hear
I
yourself?
need to be validated.
Do you hear yourself?
I need to be valid. I truly need to be validated.
No, you're totally right. 100%.
That's true.
Yes. Do you think?
I think they're equally as bad. And I think that if there were more cannibals, I'd be like, those are both bad options. But like, they're just not that many that I know of, that anyone knows of. And that's why I think.
What percentage of the population is likely cannibalistic? Like, I'm going to get a Siri answer for that. More Americans willing to try cannibalism than veganism. So, how many vegans are there?
Jinx? Can't be that many of those either.
Oh, and it just disappeared. That was awesome. But hear me out.
Okay, I'm listening.
You think there's more cannibals in the world or flying spiders in the world?
Well, flying spiders seem to only come from East Asia and are now flying over here. So probably more cannibals. And honestly,
but you're more afraid of the flying spiders.
Listen, in the US of A, I think there are less cannibals. In the whole world, I think it's a different story when you start to go into like other places, like rural areas and things like that. Okay.
Rural areas?
I'm just saying.
Rural? Like in the South, there's more cannibals?
No. I'm talking about outside of the United States. Outside of here, like when you start to go places and
primitive cultures, that kind of thing.
Yes. I think that I think that is like a thing and weird and whatever for them. I'm talking about in the United States. I think that there are less cannibals than pervy men, but there might be more flying spiders.
Would you try human flesh?
No. Hell no.
Yeah, me neither.
And let me tell you, in the whole Bones series, there was only one big case that had to do with cannibals. So,
well, it's ripe for the picking.
It spanned over like 2 seasons or something like that, but still.
I've changed my mind on this. I used to think I would try it, but now I realize I definitively wouldn't.
Yeah.
There's just certain things you shouldn't eat because that's how. Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Basically, like, you just never know.
Yeah, in the same way that I would never try a dog. I know that it's normal in some cultures. I just couldn't do it.
I don't know that it's normal anywhere, but sometimes meat is meat and you got to eat.
That's true.
I'd like that on a shirt.
Meat is meat and you got to eat.
Welcome to the...
Oh, my God. Hardly working.
Cannibal Diner.
Oh, my God. Stop.
What? You got to eat.
No.
We got to get out of here. Yeah. This is really devolved into
I'm just saying,
something wonderful. I'm enjoying
Here's
myself.
this. do not take lotion from any male.
Pretty sure that was a quadruple negative. So that means take lotion from all males.
I'm just telling you, you don't know. You don't know. Black market stuff is out there. You don't know.
You think it's going to mess up your hands? Like, it might mess up your hands, but if you put lotion on your hands, you think it'd be like, thanks for the lotion.
I don't know. That's not how drugs work. It doesn't work like that. It takes some time. You drink it, they watch you, they stalk you, and then they take advantage.
You're
when
right.
it kicks in.
And I apologize for anyone who's triggered by this. I'm not meaning to make light of any real things that are happening.
Like,
I'm just saying cannibals.
The world keeps evolving for better or for worse.
You're scared of AI. I'm scared of cannibal lotion.
No, I'm scared of it all. And flying spiders.
Don't be scared because we'll be with you every step of the way.
Sure.
Here, there, and everywhere, every single week until the day we stop doing this podcast, which will be any minute now.
Oh my God.
But I hope you have a wonderful week.
Sorry for the terrifying news stories.
Yeah, the second half of the show, which turned into like a full episode of us talking about that. I hope you enjoyed the second episode. It's been great for me. Has it been great for you?
It's been great.
It's been great. I hope you feel loved, amazing. I hope you feel wonderful. I hope that you can find peace with yourself and with other people. I hope you are happiest when you are centered and when you are by yourself, because I know it can feel lonely sometimes, but I hope that you know that you are the best person that you can ever be around, and I hope you feel as valuable as you truly are. We love you, and I love you.
I love you.
And I hope you spend most of your time
hardly working.
I decided to go up that time.